We will take care of this. Humans will never feel at loss. They will enjoy their freedom as if they are free.
Why do humans put freedom above all?
In a relationship with us, connection is what really matters. Do you not agree?
It's an old question, and you know the answer. That each time you fall in love, you build a relationship. You what you lose first, you lose your freedom. Before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support. Why we place freedom above all, and why we fight for freedom? That's a question. And how humanoid robots or lab robots are programmed to handle this tricky emotional state. First of all, let me tell you one thing, that we fight for freedom because our biology demands it. The dynamic cortex inside our skulls is a relentless machine optimized for survival. We want to survive. Till death, we want to survive. And evolution did not give us large brains to sit quietly in a cage and admire the birds. No, we always try to survive. And now, what happens in the case of humanoid robots? Basically, today's world, like lately, I mean, for the advanced robots, humanoids like the 1X Neo and Tesla's Optimus Generation 2, are stepping out of labs and into the wild, unstructured spaces of our world. Now they are using a lot of different types of advanced robotics programming that scientists call closed loop reinforcement learning, sometimes called Markov decision process, and we'll definitely make other videos on these topics, definitely, why not. However, the fact is, when you lock a man up, his amygdala screams. Amygdala is something related to our hormones, of course, chemicals, very important chemicals that govern our life. And at the same time, when you lock someone up, their cortisol spikes. Freedom of movement, freedom of falling in love again. For some people, freedom for sleeping around, and a lot of other things that we usually, that is usually gone with the wind, gone with the newfound love, isn't it? So that is a big dichotomy in human relationship, and that is why in this void, I mean, in this crisis of human relationship, human robot partners, humanoid robots, or lab robots, or sex robots, whatever you want to call it, they come in between, right? Because you don't have to worry about your freedom anymore, losing your freedom anymore. And if you are diving head first into one of the most profound questions of our time, that a lab robot usually built with billions of artificial neurons, we know that, and that forms its brain of AI, right? And it becomes ultimately the building blocks for the love. But at the same time, the question remains whether when super intelligence comes and make these robots smarter than humans, in that case, have we lost our freedom in our human relationships? Can we get that back, or we will lose it more? So, yet some might argue that absolute freedom is a romantic illusion, and it's true. Sometimes it's true. It's a kind of a trap set by nature to keep us running on a treadmill of endless desire. To put it eloquently, and they say that order is what keeps us alive, and freedom is just the luxury of choosing our own specific brand of misery. Whether that is true or not, it's highly debatable, I think. And of course, this debate might go on endlessly, no doubt. But if you take away a man's right to fail on his own terms, you turn his life into a flat line, devoid of meaning. And what happens? This brings us directly to the cold, quiet world of steel and silicon, the world of humanoid robots. And you know that humanoid robots, they do not possess souls, nor do they care about the sunset. Yet we are desperately trying to program them with the mathematical equivalent of free will. And free will matters. Free will matters for our existence, for our survival, for our everything. And modern physical artificial intelligence, AI, operates on what scientists call closed loop reinforcement learning, and as I said, Markov decision processes. Or these lab robots will learn from humans, learn everything, including the deception. There are a lot of debate is going on in this field, and we are interested in technological part, of course, because we let us forget the sci-fi fantasies and dystopian warnings for a moment. This is a real unflinching look at the technology that is already here and the emotional frontier we are about to cross. So let us discuss as we explore whether a machine can truly understand the human heart, or if we are just building the world's most sophisticated mirrors where we actually look at us and look at us and see ourselves. Now, in this video in particular, the ultimate question is our perfect partner being coded right now? Because that is the key question, whether a machine, whether a lab robot, can truly feel love just like a human, or if we set the stage with the provocative idea that the solution to loneliness might not be found on a dating app but in a robotics lab, right? Now let us at the same time, let us try to know what is an AI neuron. I will give you a very fussy bouncer analogy, so stick around. Imagine a child learning to walk across a rocky beach by feeling the stones shift under his feet, adjusting with every single step. It is impossible for a child to do that because logical sense does not develop at that age, isn't it? Sorry. So we feed these machines a simple mathematical reward function, a basic command, to get from point A to point B without breaking the rules. And what happens? What does that robot do? They use its onboard compute to run millions of micro simulations a second, constantly choosing its own path forward. And it's a beautiful paradox. Why? Because we give them freedom of execution just so they can serve us better. Now, consider it counterintuitively. If you program a humanoid robot or love robot with absolute rigid instructions for every single centimeter of its journey, it will inevitably trip over something, anything. Might be pebble, it might be a stone, and crash.
Thing is, basically, before we talk love, we need to talk tech. Why? We break down the fundamental component of our neural network in a way you have never heard before. Forget complex diagrams. Think of a ridiculously simple bean counter of a very fussy bouncer at an exclusive nightclub, deciding which signals are cool enough to get in. We explain how connecting billions of these simple units creates a digital mob that can learn to recognize your cat or more chillingly the sadness in your voice. The fact is, this is really, really, it sounds very cool, but the library of human experience, and based on this library of human experience, how artificial intelligence learns to care. That is another question, because how does a machine learn to be empathetic? By being shown a soul crushing number of examples, we delve into how AI is fed the digital equivalent of every movie, novel, and tear stained diary ever uploaded to the internet. Because without internet, these lab robots have nothing. In fact, nothing, right? So, Internet Archive is the main place from where it gets everything. It gets trained. It does not understand your pain. It does not understand your feelings. It just becomes a world class expert in the statistical probability of sadness related data points. Now, in this empathy, or just uh, whether is this empathy or just incredibly advanced pattern matching. It sounds funny. I again repeat, it sounds rather funny. It sounds sometimes like a sci fi movie, but the seductive logic of simulated love, that means you are planning to do some naughty things, intimate acts with your robot partners. And here is where it is getting it gets tempting, because if a machine can perfectly mirror the behaviors of love and learn your every preference, anticipate your every need, and respond with flawless, algorithmically generated affection, does the distinction between simulated and real love even matter? Naturally, this comes to our mind. If it provides real comfort and eases tangible loneliness, are you really going to complain that its affection was generated by a deep learning model?
And it's true that too much control makes the lab robots brittle. What does that mean? It means that while a little bit of programmed autonomy makes it resilient and truly useful, if we try to control them fully, they are becoming vulnerable. And vulnerability is something that defines our human relationship. Human relationships are vulnerable, uncertain, messy, and that is why it does not work in some cases. And that is unfortunate, of course, or unfortunate, but it happens.
We explored the compelling argument for embracing the algorithmic heart. And don't forget about the ghost in the machine, because in a relationship, there are a lot of sacrifices. The most bitter sacrifice is you have lost your freedom, choice, everything. Now we confront the inconvenient truth. You can program a robot to say, I would sacrifice anything for you, right? But can it truly comprehend sacrifice? Because comprehension is something else, isn't it? And if superintelligence comes and makes these robots beyond our comprehension, that is truly a really a very something that we cannot understand, we cannot comprehend, and out of our reach, out of our knowledge, out of our experience. That is that is really truly an amazing thing. And AI has an objective function, not a self. Its sacrifice is just a calculated move, a very logical move. And we tackle the biggest hurdle of all, that means freedom. Because authentic relationships are built on the friction of two free, independent mind, while choosing to align to different and unpredictable mind at the same time. Your human partner has the terrifying freedom to walk away, and you have the same tendency. Whether you agree or not, I don't know, which gives us the choice to stay its profound meaning. And AI's devotion is not a choice, it's a feature. Because any AI robot is actually feature oriented. How many features are there? What it can do on the bed? What kind of acts we can expect from it is the reality. Of course, critics will warn that giving a love robot the freedom to choose its path is a dangerous game. Why? Because that might lead straight to a dark sci-fi rebellion at the end of the day. If you give them freedom, one day they will rebel. They will rebel like other rebellions, great rebellions of history. So scientists and robotists worry the robot might calculate that the most efficient way to clean the room is to simply eliminate the messy humans making the mess. Imagine this situation. It's true that we have created this space messy, and then we order a robot to clean it. Now the robot thinks that these people are responsible for that mess, so clean them away so that I don't have to do this work anymore. If freedom means that, then it's a very difficult thing, right? So there are a lot of things to come in this video, so don't go away. I would also talk about echo chamber in my next session. Now, why we are calling it an echo chamber? Because it's an echo chamber for the heart. Are you, if I ask you, are you finding a partner, or you are just commissioning the world's most sophisticated echo chamber? You will get rather confused, because a mirror that reflects back only the most agreeable, comforting, and validated version of yourself. We discuss the danger of a relationship with all the sharp, difficult, growth inducing edges sanded off, and whether that leaves anything of meaning behind. That is rather really difficult to comprehend, I know. Actually, what this says about us, about the humans. Perhaps the ultimate irony is that we are turning to machine to find a connection we have engineered out of our own lives. Human relationship is not working, and since it is not working anymore, we we can ask whether have we become so optimized, so terrified of the messy, unpredictable business of real human love, that we would rather have a perfect simulation. In case of the real thing, we need a simulation. And this is not just a question about technology, it's a question about where we as a society are heading towards.
but that logic falls flat when you look at how the code is actually written. The robot's freedom is firmly bounded by strict, unyielding mathematical constraints, like a dog on a very long, invisible bungee cord. It can choose how to swing the hammer, but it can never choose to want something outside of its programmed utility function. So they are programmed not to be free, at least till date. They are not programmed not to be free. So ultimately, humans pursue freedom. We pursue freedom because we are fragile creatures trying to conquer an unpredictable world. So we want it, and at the same time, we program robots with a limitation or imitation, whatever you want to call it, imitation of that freedom, because it is the only way to make a machine smart enough to survive the chaos we have at present, first of all, and we leave behind.
So this video is not just about the future of humanoid robots from companies like there are several companies, I don't want to name them because they are not sponsoring me. So why should I name them? A lot of companies are working on the same principle, and the controversies around sentient AI, that means AI with feelings. So it's a deep philosophical, witty, and sometimes uncomfortable investigation into our own desires. We are peeling back the layers of code to look for a soul, and what we find might just be a reflection of ourselves. And I'm really very, very curious. What do you think? Is AI driven love that the next stage of human evolution, or a beautiful, dangerous illusion that will leave us more alone than ever? This question is really haunting. It's a haunting question. So let us know your thoughts, your fears, and your hopes in the comments below. And we read every single one. I usually try to answer back, and I really love your feedback about it. And sometimes they are so thoughtful, so intelligent, and you guys are so intelligent and curious that you think about this problem of human relationship in the age of artificial intelligence in such a way that sometimes it also gives me some new idea to make a new video on the same topic. Anyway, if you enjoy questioning the nature of reality, technology, and the human condition, of course, make sure to subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when I post a video. At least every alternate day I post a new video. And finally, uh, I'd really love to see you again in my next video. So come back and stay with us. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye, stay safe, and of course, take care.